Manifestation is a lie. 5 habits that force your reality. You've visualized, affirmed, raised your vibe. And your life still looks the same. That's not your fault, it's your brain. Quick shock. For people with low self-esteem, positive affirmations can actually make them feel worse, shown in controlled studies. You've been trying to manifest with wishful thinking, while your nervous system runs on neuroplasticity. What you repeat, you wire. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Use your reticular activating system, cognitive restructuring, and exposure to force real changes. Today I'll give you 5 evidence-backed habits that shift biology, not beliefs. Retrospection, somatic anchoring, exposure, stacking, and patterning. There's one mistake that ruins progress, and a 2-minute reset that saves any bad day. Coming up. Let's rip out the passive parts first and get practical. Why manifestation fails psychologically. Most people chase feelings, not behaviors. They try to feel abundant, confident, magnetic, and hope action follows. But emotion first collapses without behavior scaffolding. Feelings are volatile, schedules are stable. The brain doesn't rewire from a mood spike. It rewires from repeated, specific reps tied to clear feedback. The thing most people miss is attention. Attention is the bottleneck. Your reticular activating system, the brain's filter for relevance, decides what gets through. If your target isn't encoded with concrete cues, your RAS just shrugs and keeps showing you what matches your current habits. That's why you miss opportunities. You didn't miss them, your filter hid them. Affirmations often backfire because they collide with lived evidence. When you repeat, "I'm rich," while your bank app screams otherwise, you trigger cognitive dissonance. This isn't just theory. Research led by Dr. Joanne Wood found that for people with low self-esteem, positive self-statements can make them feel worse, not better. The nervous system moves to resolve that tension fast, usually by avoiding the tasks that would expose the mismatch. You scroll, organize your desktop, make another vision playlist. You feel busy while your brain learns nothing useful. The high vibe trap feels good short-term, but destabilizes follow-through. Spiking arousal without a plan sensitizes your system to chase more spikes. You become a motivational content addict with a to-do list that keeps rolling over. Calm intensity beats manic highs. Sustainable arousal, think focused, slightly challenged, not buzzing, is the state where plasticity plus performance align. There's also apophenia, seeing signs everywhere. You spot repeating numbers, a song lyric, a feather, and a sign meaning. The problem isn't hope, it's misattribution. When you label randomness as guidance, you stop doing pattern learning. You don't test messages against data. You get superstitious instead of strategic, and your decision speed tanks. This clicked for me when I tracked actions versus outcomes for a month. Hours of belief work produced 0 signal. But the days I ran actual reps, emails sent, drafts posted, calls made, produced measurable responses. Not every rep worked, but enough did to move the needle. Belief without reps changed nothing. Reps without belief still created evidence. Then belief followed. So if belief isn't the lever, what is? State, attention, and repeated behaviors that your nervous system can learn from. Think of it like this. Why? Your brain changes via neuroplasticity, not magic. Repeated inputs reshape circuits. What? Encode targets with cues, regulate your arousal, face the exact fear, stack tiny actions, and train your RAS to notice the right signals. How? Concrete habits you can run daily, with data you can verify. Now here's where most people mess up. They wait to feel aligned before acting. The more you wait, the more your brain learns that waiting equals safety. Avoidance becomes the habit. The better method flips it. Act first in small, testable ways. Use somatic tools to steady the body. Then let action generate credible evidence. Evidence trains attention. Attention fuels better action. That loop rewires you. Another failure point is confusing visualization with rehearsal. Future fantasy imagery creates distance. Your brain tags it as not now. You feel a temporary hit and then crash. But when you retrospect, write and rehearse as if the outcome already happened, with concrete receipts, you reduce dissonance and prime your RAS with the exact cues to look for. You're telling your filter, these are the features that matter. Before we continue, you need to understand how state sabotages execution. When you're dysregulated, heart racing, shallow breathing, your prefrontal cortex goes dim. Planning and inhibition drop, threat detection spikes. That's when you ghost tasks, rationalize delays, and call it alignment. You weren't unmotivated, you were over-aroused. Regulation first, then reps. This state-to-execution link aligns with findings that training and repeated practice can rapidly tune cognitive control circuits in the prefrontal cortex. Stanford and other labs show measurable changes over weeks of consistent, structured reps. The game changer nobody talks about is graded exposure. Letting go of fear is usually a disguise for avoidance. Avoidance wires fear stronger. Exposure, deliberately approaching the trigger in small, repeatable doses, teaches your amygdala a new prediction. I can handle this. When you add cognitive restructuring, catch the catastrophic thought, challenge it, replace it with a testable statement, you build both physiological and cognitive tolerance. Your brain stops overestimating threat and underestimating capacity. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. Stacking creates momentum, even on low days. You anchor a 2-minute action to something you already do, so friction stays low. RAS training turns vague goals into specific hunts. 3 buyer phrases, 5 resume cues, 2 objection patterns. That specificity transforms the world into a searchable interface. You start seeing what moves the goal instead of what flatters the ego. Don't do what I did the first time and change 10 variables at once. Your brain can't isolate which rep produced the win. Keep floors low, ceilings high, and change slowly. 1 exposure rung, 1 stack, 1 cue hunt. Then measure. Did replies increase? Did your stress drop faster? Did you ship more artifacts? Numbers teach your brain who you're becoming. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Behavior first, belief follows. You don't manifest outcomes. You train your nervous system to notice, act, and adapt. Up next, I'll give you 5 habits that make this automatic. Starting with retrospection, the simplest way to encode goals your RAS can't ignore. Habit 1. Stop dreaming. Start retrospecting. Neuroplastic goal encoding. Future fantasy feels good, but creates distance. Your brain tags someday as not now, which lowers urgency and increases dissonance. Retrospection flips the timestamp. You describe the outcome as if it already happened, with receipts your nervous system can verify. Why this matters? Your reticular activating system hunts for specifics, not vibes. When you feed it concrete cues, dates, numbers, names, artifacts, it upgrades from daydreaming to target acquisition. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Write a retrospective script, not an affirmation. Affirmations try to brute force belief against current evidence. Retrospection reduces the gap and encodes what to notice next. Think of it like programming search filters into your attention. What it is simply a 1-page, it already happened letter that anchors 3 things: proof, sensory context, and next behaviors you repeated to make it true. The point isn't to pretend, it's to specify. Do it in 4 moves. Define 1 measurable outcome for the next 2 to 12 weeks. 1, not 5. Signed 1 new client at $X. Ran 12 workouts. Published 4 portfolio pieces. Use a number and a time frame so the brain can check yes/no. Convert it to past tense proof. Write 3 to 5 receipts. On March 31st, I shipped the landing page v3, had 2 buyer calls, and got the let's proceed email from Jordan at Acme. Receipts defeat vagueness. They tell your RAS exactly what counts. Attach sensory details. Where were you? What did the room smell like? What words were in the email subject? This isn't woo, it's retrieval practice. More retrieval hooks equals more chances your attention flags the right cues in the wild. Set 1 to 3 behavior anchors you'll run tomorrow that align with those receipts. These are the repeatable actions, not the outcome. Draft 2 outreach emails at 8:30 after coffee. Edit the hero section for 25 minutes after logging in. Post a 1-paragraph case study after lunch. If your script doesn't produce tomorrow's anchors, it's just poetry. Let me show you exactly how with a career jump example. Outcome. By March 31st, I have won $3,000 project. Retrospective proof. On March 12th, I posted a before/after redesign on LinkedIn that got 14 comments. 2 turned into calls. On March 22nd, I sent 6 targeted emails referencing their recent product update. On March 28th, I ran a 20-minute demo. Jordan replied with, "Let's proceed at 3K for phase 1. Sensory. I was at my desk, the Slack ping came in, subject line red green light, onboarding details. I felt a steady warmth in my chest, not a spike. Anchors. After coffee, write 2 emails. After lunch, 25-minute case study edit. After gym, post 1 visual artifact. The reason this works is simple. You're rehearsing detection, not fantasy. You're telling your filter, these names, numbers, phrases, and artifacts are relevant. Your RAS will start surfacing matching patterns, buyer language, timing windows, feedback phrases, because you gave it fields to match. Now here's where most people mess up. They write sweeping identity claims. I'm a six-figure creator. With 0 receipts. Or they rewrite the goal daily, which signals uncertainty instead of commitment. Or they skip behavior anchors, so nothing in tomorrow changes. Keep it boring and specific. Common mistakes to avoid: vague vibes. I felt abundant. Replace with receipts. Reached $3,000 collected, received paid notification. 0 metrics. More clients becomes 1 client at $3,000 by March 31st. Daily rewrites. Update weekly or bi-weekly, not hourly. Let the nervous system stabilize on one target. Overstuffing. 5 goals in 1 letter splits attention. 1 outcome per cycle. No artifacts. If there's nothing you can show, email, draft, post, deliverable. You're training for luck, not learning. Quick win you can run today. Write a 1-page retrospective letter for a 2 to 4 week outcome. Use the template. Date achieved. Exact date. What happened? 3 to 5 receipts. What I noticed? Sensory cues. What I did consistently? 1 to 3 anchors. How I'll repeat it this week? Schedule. Then drop 3 anchors into your calendar tomorrow. Aim for 2-minute starters so friction stays low. You'll feel silly for 5 minutes and powerful for the next 5 days. Let me add a micro story. Last month, a client kept visualizing a podcast launch. 0 episodes shipped. We wrote a retrospective. By April 30th, 3 episodes live. Receipts. RSS link active. 2 guest confirmations. Apple Podcasts approval email. Sensory. Recorded at 7 a.m. Mug of cinnamon coffee. Blue waveform on screen. Anchors. 10-minute outline after breakfast. 60-second trailer record after commute. Within 2 weeks, 2 episodes published. Belief came after Apple's approval email, not before. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just visualization with extra steps? No. Visualization is future tense, and often outcome only. Retrospection is past tense with receipts plus anchors. It's rehearsal for attention and behavior, not a serotonin hit. It also fits with evidence that consistent, repeated practice reshapes attention and cognitive control networks. Behavior first, brain follows. If you remember nothing else here, remember this. A goal you can't count is a goal your brain can't learn. Numbers and nouns beat adjectives and aspiration. Put nouns and numbers in your filter. Hang tiny anchors on your day. And let evidence do the heavy lifting on belief. You've encoded the target. Next, we stabilize the state that executes it, so your body doesn't bail the moment things get real. Habit 2. Stop high vibe. Start somatic anchoring, nervous system regulation. You've encoded the target. Now we need the body that can execute on demand. When your system is revved, the prefrontal cortex loses precision, and you default to safety behaviors. Avoid, delay, over-prepare. Regulation isn't about being zen. It's about building a stable state floor. You can return to quickly, so action is possible even when you're stressed. Why does this matter? Because arousal drives learning and performance, but too high or too low kills follow through. Calm intensity, alert but grounded, is the sweet spot. The thing most people miss is they try to pump themselves up instead of training a lever to downshift. Spikes feel productive, stability builds consistency. Once you can dial your state, reps stop depending on luck. What we're building is a somatic anchor, a short, repeatable sequence that reliably nudges your nervous system towards steadiness. Think of it like a save button for state. You'll pair 1 or 2 physiological tools with a physical cue, so you can execute automatically before hard tasks. The reason this works is simple. Breath, posture, and sensory input send bottom-up signals that adjust heart rate and threat detection. No pep talk required. Here are anchors that actually help. Physiological size. 2 sniffs in through the nose, second shorter than the first, then a long, unforced mouth exhale. Do 3 to 5 rounds. This offloads carbon dioxide and tends to reduce anxiety quickly. For 7/8 style cadence or long exhale bias. Inhale gently through the nose, pause, then exhale longer than you inhale. If 4/7/8 feels edgy, just make your exhale 1.5, 2x longer than your inhale for 60 to 90 seconds. Grounding through feet. Stand or sit with both feet planted. Press down evenly through heels and the big toe mounds for 10 breaths, while noticing the floor's texture. This reorients attention to stable sensation. Cold splash reset. Cool water on the face for 10 to 20 seconds can trigger a mild dive response that lowers heart rate. Use it when you're spiraling, not as a daily staple. Postural reset. Lengthen the back of the neck, broaden collarbones, drop shoulders, and soften jaw. Pair with one slow breath. Small posture changes alter breathing and vagal tone. Now, pairing is everything. Pick a cue you'll always touch before work. The desk handle, laptop lid, door frame, even a specific notification chime. Link your anchor to that cue so your body learns. When I touch this, we downshift. Without pairing, tools stay theoretical. With pairing, they become reflex. Let me show you exactly how to build a 90-second state floor. You'll run before any hard task. Seconds minus 30, 3 physiological sighs. 2 nasal inhales, 1 long, relaxed mouth exhale. On the last exhale, feel your shoulders drop. Seconds 30 to 60. Plant your feet and press evenly into the floor. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. 3 rounds. Eyes soften. Label 3 sensations. Pressure, temperature, fabric. Seconds 60 to 90. Quick postural reset. Lengthen, broaden, soften. Micro smile at the corners of your mouth to release jaw tension. Whisper your next micro action, out loud if you can. Open doc, write the first sentence. That's it. You're not chasing euphoria, you're installing stability. Run this every time you touch your cue. The brain learns through repetition, not novelty, so keep it identical for at least a week. Now here's where most people mess up. They overbreathe, force huge inhales, get lightheaded, and then decide breath doesn't work. Keep inhales gentle and exhale longer. They chase a high, music, espresso, motivational clips, right before deep work, which spikes arousal and fragments attention. Or they only use anchors when they're panicked, which means they never become automatic. Train at baseline, use under stress. These tools likely work by shifting vagal tone and stabilizing prefrontal control, consistent with polyvagal-informed approaches and respiratory physiology research. A quick micro-story. A client had email dread, so bad they'd procrastinate for hours, then binge send at midnight. We picked the laptop lid as the cue. Every open, 3 physiological sighs, foot grounding, 1 line spoken next action. Within a week, the dread wave still came, but it dropped faster, and the first email started within 2 minutes instead of 20. After 2 weeks, the body anticipated the calm at the cue. That's an anchor doing its job. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Anchors are trained, not discovered. You're wiring a conditioned response between a cue and a downshift. That reliability is what frees up bandwidth for execution. Let's put a quick plan in your day. Choose 1 anchor and 1 cue. Example: physiological size plus desk handle. Run the 90-second state floor 3 times daily for 7 days. Before your main work block, before exposure practice, and before outreach. Track a simple metric. Time to start from cue to first keystroke. You should see it shrink. Common mistakes to avoid. Mixing tools constantly. Pick 1 anchor for 7 days. Variety confuses learning. Using breath like a fire hose. Gentle inhale, longer exhale. Stop if dizzy, reset posture. No physical cue. Make it tactile so your nervous system can link stimulus and response. Expecting 0 anxiety. The goal is functional intensity, not numbness. Aim for I can act. For added mileage, layer anchors with environment tweaks. Remove loud tabs, put your phone on a distant shelf, set a 10-minute timer. Regulation plus constraint is a powerful combo. Now, you might be thinking, what if I'm already calm? Great. Anchors aren't just for downshifting. They also mark a ritual start. Rituals reduce decision friction. The consistent prelude tells your brain, it's time to perform. Quick win for today. Pick your anchor and cue right now. Write them on a sticky note. Cue, laptop lid. Anchor, 3 sighs plus feet plus first sentence. Run it before your very next task. You'll feel the difference in under 2 minutes, and more importantly, you'll start teaching your body that calm is available on command. Regulated? Good. Time to face the fear you keep dodging. Habit 3. Stop letting go, start exposure, fear rescripting. Letting go sounds spiritual, but most of the time it's avoidance in a costume. Avoidance wires fear stronger. Every time you dodge a trigger, your brain learns, threat avoided, great strategy. Exposure flips that prediction. You approach the thing on purpose, in controlled, repeatable doses, until your nervous system updates to, "This is uncomfortable, not dangerous. I can act." Why this matters: fear isn't the problem, prediction errors are. Your amygdala overestimates threat and underestimates capacity because it's missing clean data. Exposure provides that data. You're not trying to feel brave first. You're teaching your brain, by experience, that you can tolerate and perform while a little scared. Here's the technique most people skip: graded exposure. Not cliffs, ladders. You'll build steps from easy to hard, so the reps are doable and frequent. The win is boredom. When a trigger becomes boring, fear circuitry has been rescripted. Let me show you exactly how to build it. Step 1. Pick one specific trigger, not a category. Posting on LinkedIn, not being seen. Making sales calls, not selling. Asking for feedback, not rejection. Name the exact stimulus you avoid. Step 2. Create a fear ladder, 5 to 7 rungs that ascend in difficulty, by about 10 to 20% each. Use time, intensity, or visibility as the scaling variable. For social posting, rung 1. Write a post in a doc. No publishing. Read it aloud. Rung 2. Publish a post visible to yourself only, platform draft/preview. Rung 3. Publish publicly at a quiet time, comments off. Rung 4. Publish publicly, comments on, no edits after posting. Rung 5. Publish a story with your face, no retakes after the second try. Rung 6. Ask one person for feedback, don't defend, only thank them. Rung 7. Post a contrarian opinion with a clear claim. Step 3. Set a coping plan. This is your playbook for the surge. Use your somatic anchor for 60 to 90 seconds pre-exposure. During the rep, label sensations briefly, heat, chest, buzzing, and continue the behavior. Post-rep, log 2 lines, SUDS, subjective units of distress, from -10 and the behavior completed. No rumination, no performance review yet. Step 4. Add cognitive restructuring in line. The thought chain is where exposure becomes rescripting. Use a simple catch challenge replace. Catch: if I post, people will think I'm cringe and I'll lose respect. Challenge: evidence for? One person rolled their eyes once. Evidence against? 5 people DM'd me last month asking for help when I posted. Alternative causes? They might be busy. Replace with a testable statement. If I post today, at least one neutral or positive signal will occur within a week. View, comment, DM, or none, and I'll still be fine. Now here's the part that separates dabblers from doers: frequency. 1 rung per day beats 1 heroic leap per month. Your nervous system learns by repetition density. Keep reps small enough that you can show up daily without nervous system debt. Let's run a concrete example for sales calls. Trigger: dialing prospects. Ladder: listen to your own recorded voice leaving a fake voicemail. Call your own number. Leave a concise pitch. Listen back once. Call a warm contact. Ask for 60 seconds to practice a pitch, feedback after. Call one lukewarm prospect. Hang up after, hello, if panic spikes, then redial. 2 full pitches in a row, regardless of outcome. Ask one explicit closing question. Would you like to book a demo this week? Handle one objection using a script. No improvisation. Coping plan: anchor breath, script on screen, timer for 5 minutes total. SUDS before and after. Cognitive reframe: my job is to practice tone and clarity. Outcomes are bonus signals. Common mistakes to avoid: jumping to the top. If you skip rungs, you teach yourself that exposure equals overwhelm. Start low enough that you can complete the rep while mildly uncomfortable. Irregular reps: sporadic exposures keep fear sensitized. Miss a day: run a micro rung the next morning to restore momentum. Data-free sessions: if you don't log SUDS and completion, your brain forgets wins and exaggerates spikes. Safety behaviors that dilute learning: excessive reassurance seeking, overscripting every word, editing mid-exposure, excessive, just 1 more takes. Set a cap: 2 takes, then ship. Now, you might be thinking, what if I panic? Good, then you get to practice the skill. Panic peaks and falls. Your job isn't to eliminate it. It's to stay in contact with the trigger long enough for the wave to crest without escape behaviors. Even 30 to 60 more seconds than usual counts as a win. That's how prediction updates. Here's a quick micro-story. A designer client avoided on-camera content, convinced they'd ramble. Rung 1 was 15 seconds on front camera, no posting. Rung 3 was 30 seconds, posted to close friends. Rung 5 was a 45-second public tip, 2 takes max. The first public post felt like a 9 out of 10. They used the anchor, pressed post, walked around the block. Suds fell to 5 in 10 minutes. 2 days later, that same format rated 6 out of 10. By week 3, it was a 3. Booked to consult from post 7. The belief flipped only after evidence stacked. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The goal is boredom. When your trigger feels dull, you win. Until then, measure progress by reps completed, not vibes. Quick when you can run today. Pick one fear and build a 5 to 7 rung ladder. Design a 10-minute rung you can do now. Pair it with your somatic anchor. Log suds before / after and 1 sentence of learning. Run the next rung tomorrow at the same time. That rhythm is what rewires you. Habit 4. Stop wishing, start stacking, behavioral momentum. Motivation is a mood. Identity is a history of reps. If you want momentum that doesn't die on Tuesday, stop negotiating with motivation and start engineering friction. Habit stacking bolts a tiny, specific action onto something you already do, so the start happens on rails. Once the start is automatic, momentum carries you further than willpower ever will. Why this matters? Your brain conserves energy by repeating what's familiar. Stacking rides that bias. Instead of building a habit from zero, you graft it to a stable cue that already fires daily. Coffee, commute, gym, login, brushing teeth. The thing most people miss is they design habits for their best days. Stacking designs for your worst day and still produces a win. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Define 3 parts. Anchor, starter, fallback. The anchor is your existing routine. The starter is a 2-minute action that counts as a complete win. The fallback is the minimum you'll accept on chaotic days, so streaks survive. Floors create momentum. Ceilings keep growth available. Let me show you exactly how to build it. Step 1. Choose one existing habit that already happens. Make it precise. After I set down my coffee mug on my desk at 8:30. Right after I swipe my transit card. When I close the gym locker. Precision matters because your nervous system learns if then links, not vague intentions. Step 2. Pick a 2-minute starter that moves the right domino. The starter should be so small it's hard to skip, and so targeted it advances the goal. Examples: career pivot. After coffee, write the first 2 outreach sentences to one person. If momentum comes, finish and send. If not, the starter still counts. Creative project. After opening your laptop, open the draft and write 1 ugly paragraph. No editing. 2 minutes. Health. After putting on shoes, do the first set, 10 bodyweight squats. If energy arrives, continue. If not, you still win. Money. After checking your bank app on Friday, move $5 to savings and log the transfer in your scorecard. Step 3. Pre-decide a fallback for messy days. This is not a cop-out. It's insurance for the identity you're building. If I can't send an outreach, I paste yesterday's template into a draft and save. If I can't write a paragraph, I title the document and type 1 bullet. If I can't do squats, I hold a 30-second wall sit. The brain records I showed up, which protects the streak and keeps your RAS tuned to the target. Step 4. Set a visible tracker. Paper beats apps for most people because it's in your line of sight. 7 boxes on a sticky note labeled with your action shorthand. OC, 2 for outreach 2 minutes. Up, 1 for ugly paragraph. $5 for transfer. Check it immediately after the rep. That micro reward matters. Now here's where most people mess up. They start too big. Write for an hour daily. That collapses the first time life happens, and your brain tags the habit as expensive. They change multiple variables at once. New time, new tool, new location, new action. So learning fragments. Or they stack 3 habits per domain and flood the system. 1 stack per domain until it's boring. Then add. Let's run concrete examples. Career momentum stack. Anchor. Place coffee mug down at 8:30. Starter. Write 2 outreach sentences to 1 specific person. Fallback. Paste yesterday's template with a new first line. Save draft titled with the name. Stretch. Send to 2 more names if you feel warm. Tracker. OC2 box for 7 days. Creative momentum stack. Anchor. Open laptop at 6:45 p.m. starter. Open draft. Write 1 ugly paragraph. End mid-sentence to make tomorrow's start easier. Fallback. Type a single bullet that states the next beat. Close. Stretch. Set a 10-minute timer and keep going if attention holds. Tracker. Up 1 daily tick. Health momentum stack. Anchor. Drop gym bag by the door after work. Starter, 10 squats plus 1 push-up. Fallback, 30-second wall sit. Stretch, complete a 10-minute circuit if energy rises. Tracker, 10 plus 1 check. Money momentum stack. Anchor, open bank app Friday noon. Starter, move $5 into savings. Rename the transfer signal. I save. Fallback, if funds are tight, categorize one expense and flag one subscription to cancel later. Stretch, review last week's expenses and set one rule for next week. Tracker, $5 tick. The reason this works is twofold. First, it collapses initiation cost. You don't debate, should I do the hard thing? You execute the first 2 minutes, which often triggers a flow-on. Second, it teaches your identity through evidence. I'm the kind of person who ships when I say I will. That belief is earned, not declared. Add 2 powerful upgrades. If then planning, write 3 friction points and pre-decide responses. If my kid interrupts, I pause and return for 1 sentence. If the office is loud, I put in earbuds and finish the starter. If I'm tired, I run the fallback and log it. Reducing decision points preserves momentum. Temptation bundling. Pair the stack with a small, consistent reward that doesn't sabotage the goal. Outreach with your favorite playlist. Writing with your best tea. Squats with a short podcast. Keep rewards consistent so your brain ties them to the routine. Common mistakes to avoid. Making the starter outcome focused. Get a reply is not a starter. Send one message is. Moving the anchor time every day. Keep it fixed for at least a week so the if-then link hardens. Tracking streaks without forgiveness rules. Miss once. Restart immediately. Don't let perfectionism nuke the identity. The rule is never miss twice. Hiding the tracker. If you can't see it, you'll forget it. Microstory. A filmmaker client wrote edit 60 minutes on their calendar for months and skipped it. We stacked after commute, open the timeline and trim 1 clip. Fallback, label the next cut and close. On chaotic days, they did the label. Most days, the trim turned into 20 minutes. 2 weeks later, they had 3 scenes rough cut. The win was never heroics. It was the first cut after the anchor. Quick win for today. Choose 1 domain. Write your stack in 1 line. After anchor, I'll 2-minute starter. If chaotic, I'll fallback. Put a 7-box tracker where you work. Run it once today. Tomorrow, repeat at the same time. When it's boring for a week, raise the ceiling, not the floor. Momentum loves boredom. Habit 5, stop seeking signs, start patterning, attentional training. If exposure is how you rewrite fear, patterning is how you sharpen decisions. Seeking signs feels mystical, but it trains your brain to chase confirmation, not information. Patterning is different. You tell your reticular activating system exactly what to notice, then you count it. When you count, attention gets trained. When attention sharpens, choices get faster. Why this matters? Attention is finite. If you don't predefine targets, your RAS defaults to comfort and novelty. That's how you end up doom scrolling inspiration, while missing buyer language in your inbox. The better method is deliberate cue training. You specify 3 objective cues tied to your current goal, then run daily hunts. Over a week, your world starts surfacing those cues without effort. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Write a cue spec and run a 15-minute hunt. A cue spec has 3 parts: category, cue, and context. Category is the domain, job leads, buyer intent, skill gaps, collaboration openings, logistical windows. Cue is the concrete signal you can point at: exact phrases, numbers, timestamps, artifacts. Context is where it appears: platforms, conversations, metrics, emails, comments. Vague equals invisible. Specific equals findable. Let me show you exactly how to build it. Step 1. Pick one active outcome window, 2 to 4 weeks, and identify the 3 cues most predictive of progress. Examples: career pivot, landing client work, buyer phrase. We're rolling out a new feature and could use outside help. Timing window, job posts or product updates within the last 7 days. Decision maker signal, titles with budget control, head of growth, product lead. Creative growth, audience building. Engagement cue, comments that ask, how did you do X, rather than compliments. Share signal, reposts from accounts bigger than yours. Retention flag, watch time above 50% on short pieces. Health adherence, energy cue, morning readiness score above your 7-day average. Environment cue, Weather window under 85 degrees Fahrenheit for outdoor work. Friction cue. Calendar gaps of 20 to 30 minutes between meetings. Step 2. Write your cue spec as 3 single lines, each with category, cue, and context. Buy a phrase. We're rolling out in LinkedIn posts and product change logs. Timing window. Less than or equal to 7 days old in job boards and company blogs. Decision maker signal. Titles in LinkedIn about sections and email signatures. Put the spec on a sticky note where you work. Step 3. Run a daily, 15-minute cue hunt. Set a timer. Scan only the context you listed. Do not entertain near misses. Count real sightings on paper. 5 real sightings beats 100 vague vibes. The count matters because repetition is how your RAS updates salience. Step 4. Log a single action for each cue sighting. Reply, save, tag, schedule, or add to exposure ladder. Cue without action is trivia. You're training a reflex, notice act. Add spaced retrieval to lock it in. Tomorrow, quiz yourself for 30 seconds. What were yesterday's 3 cues? If you can't name them instantly, they weren't encoded. Reread your spec and repeat the hunt. This 2-step, hunt and quiz, teaches your brain the pattern like a language. Let's make it concrete for money generation. Cues, prospect phrase. We're understaffed this quarter. Metric shift. Your landing page bounce rate drops 10% after a copy tweak. Behavioral signal. Prospects who ask for ballpark on the first call. Contexts. LinkedIn feeds analytics. Dashboard call notes. Hunt. Find 5 instances in 15 minutes. Actions. Send a capacity support email to the understaffed lead. Replicate the copy tweak on the pricing page. Prepare a 1-sentence price anchor for ballpark requests. Count sightings. Count actions. Repeat tomorrow. Common mistakes to avoid, vague categories. Positive signs. Good engagement. Align people. Replace with countable cues. Exact words, numbers, titles, times. Confirmation chasing. Only logging cues that match your hopes. Patterning is about prediction, not comfort. If your cue doesn't appear, that's data. Revise the spec. No logging. If you don't count, you'll remember feelings over facts. Paper beats memory. Changing cues daily. Let a spec run for at least a week unless it's clearly dead. Consistency produces signal. Overfitting. Declaring a cue from a one-off fluke. Look for repeatability across contexts. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this just being observant? It's disciplined observant. The reason it works is you're compressing search costs. Your RAS loves binary. Did the cue appear? Yes or no? That simplicity frees cognitive load for decisions. Over time, your environment turns into a dashboard. Microstory. A marketer kept waiting for signs to pitch SaaS founders. We wrote a spec. Q1. Churn plus onboarding in founder posts. Q2. User drop-off step 2 in job ads. Q3. Retool or segment in stack screenshots. 15-minute hunts, 5 sightings, 1 action each. In week 1, 2 DMs booked calls. In week 2, the same cues felt obvious, because the brain had been trained to see them. Quick win for today. Write your cue spec with 3 cues tied to 1 outcome. Run a 15-minute hunt in the exact context you listed. Log 5 real sightings and take 1 microaction per sighting. Tomorrow morning, quiz yourself on the 3 cues in 30 seconds, then repeat the hunt. Upgrade moves. Build a cue library over time. Retire weak cues. Promote strong ones. Track cue to outcome ratios weekly. Sightings actions, replies wins. This reveals which cues actually predict progress. Pair cues with your stacks and exposures. Spot the cue. Run the reach out starter. Climb the next ladder rung. Attention fuels action. Action feeds evidence. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Stop asking the universe for signs. Ask your data for patterns. Define what matters, count it, act on it, and let your RAS become your silent partner in speed. You're moving daily. Now we'll wire everything into a simple weekly loop that compounds. The 7-day Neuroplasticity Loop, integration blueprint. You've got 5 habits. Now we're going to stitch them into a weekly loop, so they compound without you micromanaging every day. The goal isn't perfection. It's a minimum viable cadence that keeps state, attention, and action reinforcing each other. Think tight reps with low friction and clear signals. Why loops? Isolated habits drift. A loop reduces switching costs, keeps cues consistent, and gives you a weekly checkpoint to correct course. You'll run a 15-minute daily floor, so you never lose the thread, then expand when energy's there. Floors protect identity, ceilings grow results. Here's the cadence. Monday, retrospection. Encode one outcome for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and plant 3 anchors for the next 24 hours. Past tense with receipts and nouns, not adjectives. If you already wrote your letter, update 1 receipt and confirm tomorrow's anchors. 2 minutes to review, 5 minutes to schedule, 8 minutes to prep templates. Done. Tuesday, exposure rung. Pick the next step on your ladder and run it after a 90-second state floor. Log suds before and after, plus a 1-sentence learning. Add catch challenge replace in line. Keep it tight. 10 minutes for the rung, 2 minutes for the log. Boredom is progress. Wednesday, patterning sprint. Run your 15-minute Q hunt tied to this cycle's outcome. 5 real sightings, 1 microaction per sighting. Then 30 seconds of spaced retrieval. Name your 3 cues aloud from memory. If you stumble, reread your cue spec and redo the retrieval. Thursday, stack intensification. Take your existing stack and either raise the ceiling slightly or add 1 identical rep. Floors stay the same. Example: outreach moves from 1 message to 2 on good days. Writing adds a second 2-minute burst after lunch. Don't change the anchor timing for at least a week. Friday, somatic calibration. Treat this as a state tune-up. Run your anchor 3 times across the day. Start of work, before a challenging block. End of work to close the stress cycle. Track time to start and time to calm for comparison. If breath feels stale, keep the structure but vary the context. Do 1 round outdoors or standing. Saturday review. 1 page, 10 minutes. Inputs: exposures done, stacks completed, anchors used. Outputs: replies, meetings, deliverables, money proxies. Signals: any firsts, ratios that shifted, repeatable cues. Tag 1. Learning you'll test next week. If the week was chaotic, celebrate streak protection, not volume. Sunday plan. Reconfirm Monday's retrospective target. Pre-write Tuesday's exposure run. Choose Wednesday's 3 cues, and set Thursday's ceiling bump. Put anchors as calendar events with alerts. Set a single never miss twice rule for your stack. You're making it easier for future you to execute without thinking. Daily floor, 15 minutes minimum. If life explodes, your bailout plan is 90-second state floor, 2-minute stack starter, 1 micro-run exposure, even imaginal if necessary, 5-minute Q hunt with 1 action, 90-second review jot. That's 11 to 12 minutes plus 2 small transitions. It counts. The nervous system learns. We show up anyway. Let's run an example for a career pivot toward freelance design. Monday, retrospect. 1 $3,000 project by March 31st. Receipts. LinkedIn artifact. 6 targeted emails. Let's proceed email. Anchors. 2 outreach sentences at 8:30. 25-minute case edit after lunch. Publish 1 visual artifact after gym. Tuesday, exposure rung 3. Publish a quiet time LinkedIn post with comments off. Anchor first, post, walk outside for 2 minutes, log suds. Wednesday, patterning sprint. Cues. Rolling out plus feature posts, job ads less than or equal to 7 days, head of growth titles. Find 5, DM 1, save 2, schedule 1 email. Thursday, stack intensification. Outreach moves from 1 to 2 names if warm. Fallback remains pasting yesterday's template with a new first line. Friday, somatic calibration. 3 anchor rounds. Track that time to start shrank from 6 minutes to 2. Note which cue pairing felt snappiest. Saturday review. Inputs: 5 outreach, 2 posts, 1 exposure rung. Outputs: 1 DM reply, 1 intro. Signals: buyer phrase appeared twice in seed companies. Decision maker titles clustered in growth. Next week's test. Reference that phrase in first lines. Sunday plan. Pre-write Monday's updated retrospective receipt. Script Tuesday's next rung. Ask for feedback without defending. Set Wednesday cues. Calendar Thursday's 2-message stretch. Common mistakes and quick fixes. Perfectionism. You'll be tempted to extend sessions. Cap them. Consistency beats drama. Fix by setting a hard stop timer. Rescheduling loops endlessly. If you move it twice, shrink the rep, don't move the day. The brain trusts day patterns more than hour precision. No weekly review. Without it, you repeat noise. Fix with a 10-minute Saturday template. Inputs, outputs, signals, learnings, next test. Changing goals mid-cycle. Run at least 2 weeks on 1 measurable outcome. If it's dead, your review will show it. Then pivot once, not daily. Stacking across too many domains. Limit to 1 stack per domain until it's boring. Momentum hates clutter. A microstory. A client balancing a full-time job and a side studio used this loop. Most days were 15 to 25 minutes. In week 2, 2 buyer queues turned into 1 call. In week 3, the exposure rung moved to ask a closing question. In week 4, they landed a $2,800 phase 1. The surprise wasn't the win. It was how ordinary the days felt. Flaws did the heavy lifting. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Loops make change inevitable. Keep the floor, protect the cadence, and let small reps stack into big evidence. Common mistakes that kill progress and fixes. Let's cut the leaks that quietly drain your gains. You've got the loop. Now here are the traps that break it and the fixes that keep you compounding. Mistake 1. Overloading goals. You stack 5 outcomes and split your RAS in 5 directions. Nothing gets enough reps to produce signal. Fix. Single metric focus per 2-week block. Pick 1 measurable outcome and 1 primary metric that proves movement. Replies, deliverables, minutes practiced, revenue proxy. Write it at the top of your weekly review. Everything else becomes nice to have. If new opportunities pop up, park them on a later card. Constraint makes you faster. Mistake 2. Emotional outsourcing. You wait for motivation, alignment, the perfect morning. That teaches your nervous system that action requires a feeling. Fix state flaws. Run your 90-second anchor before task start, regardless of mood. Then do the first 2-minute starter. Your measure is time to start, not vibe. If you're still stuck after the anchor, shrink the starter again. 1 sentence, 1 click, 1 dial tone. Action produces the emotional shift, not the other way around. Mistake 3. All or nothing exposure. You avoid for days, then attempt a cliff jump you can't sustain. Your brain tags exposure as danger and doubles the fear. Fix. Ladders, not cliffs. Keep rungs small enough to complete while uncomfortable. Cap takes. Ship after the second attempt. Log suds before slash after so you can see the drop. If you miss a day, run a micro rung the next morning to restore rhythm. Boredom is the North Star. Mistake 4. Stacking too many behaviors at once. You add 3 stacks in career, 2 in health, 1 in relationships. Then life happens and the whole thing collapses. Fix. 1 stack per domain until it's boring. Floors stay fixed for at least 7 days before you raise ceilings. Use a visible tracker in your workspace so your queue hits your eyes before your calendar does. Remember, floors protect identity, ceilings grow outcomes. Mistake 5. Data-free weeks. You did a lot, but your brain remembers spikes, not facts. Without numbers, you'll chase what felt important instead of what worked. Fix. 1-page scorecard, 5 metrics, not 50. Inputs, exposures, stacks, anchors. Outputs, replies, deliverables, money proxies. Signals, firsts and ratios, sightings, actions, replies. Make it binary where possible. Yes/no shipped. Count to 5, 10-minute timer. Consistency over precision. Mistake 6. Tool tinkering as procrastination. You redesign your Notion, swap task apps, reorganize folders. It feels like progress and buys 0 reps. Fix. Tool lock. Declare a 7-day freeze on switching. If a friction point is real, solve it with a rule, not a new app. If I open a new tab, I start a 10-minute timer. If I feel lost, I read my Q spec out loud. Process beats platform. Mistake 7. Changing goals mid-loop. New shiny idea, new script, new audience. Your RAS never stabilizes on the cues, so nothing compounds. Fix. Commit to at least 2 weeks per outcome, then review. If the data says dead end, pivot once, don't swirl. Use your Saturday review to make that call, not Tuesday at 3 p.m. when discomfort peaks. Mistake 8. Invisible environments. Your desk is a museum of distractions. Your phone sits face up. Your scripts hide in deep folders. Fix. Environment that forces follow-through. Lay out the first artifact on your screen. Put your phone on a shelf. Pre-open the doc you'll write in. Public pre-commit, 1 tiny deliverable per week, so there's an external clock. Mistake 9. Rumination disguised as reflection. You replay the worst comment, catastrophize, then research for an hour. Fix. ABC with a behavioral test. Write the thought, dispute it, craft a testable alternative. Act within 24 hours. Reflection ends when the action starts. Mistake 10. Expecting linear feelings. You assume less fear equals progress. In reality, fear spikes at new edges. Fix. Measure readiness by behavior under load. Did you act through June 10th? Good. Did you keep your cap? Better. Did your time to start shrink? Best. Here's the simple checklist that keeps you honest this week. 1 outcome, 1 metric. Anchor before action. Ladder rung, not leap. 1 stack per domain. 5 metric scorecard. 7-day tool lock. 2-week outcome window. Lay out the first artifact. ABC plus test in 24 hours. Progress equals reps under real conditions. Loops work, unless you keep making these preventable mistakes. Clean the leaks, and your small reps start to look unfairly effective. Next, the secret step that makes all of this 10x easier, even on chaotic days. The 2-minute reset that saves your day, rapid reboot protocol. Bad mornings shouldn't hijack an entire day. When you derail, sleep in, miss a workout, blow a meeting, you don't need a lecture, you need a circuit breaker. This reset is 2 minutes, 3 moves, in a fixed order. It snaps you from rumination to action and puts you back on your loop without drama. Think. Breath to clear, cold to jolt, wind to re-establish agency. The breath and cold components leverage well-documented physiology. Long exhale patterns reduce CO2. Driven alarm and brief facial cold exposure can engage trigeminal pathways to downshift heart rate. Here's why it works. Breath shifts physiology fast. Offloading CO2 reduces the air hunger edge and quiets the alarm. Cold water on the face taps a primitive reflex that downshifts heart rate. A tiny, guaranteed win reclaims control and restarts your identity narrative. I act. 2 minutes is short enough that your brain can't bargain. The sequence is simple enough to run under stress. Move 1. 30 seconds of physiological sighs. 2 sniffs in through the nose, the second shorter than the first. Then a long, relaxed mouth exhale. Repeat for about 5 rounds. Keep inhales gentle. Let the exhale fall out. If you're dizzy, soften the inhale and continue the longer exhale bias. Aim your attention at the shoulders dropping and the ribs settling. Move 2. 30 seconds of cold splash. Sink, bottle, or damp cloth, doesn't matter. Get cool water on your cheeks, under eyes, and upper lip. Breathe normally while you do it. You're sending safety through your face and trigeminal pathways. No bathtub theatrics, consistency beats extremes. Move 3. 60 seconds for the easiest possible win tied to your primary loop. Pick one from your pre-written list, so there's zero decision friction. Paste yesterday's outreach template and personalize 1 line. Title the doc and write 1 ugly sentence. Set a 10-minute timer and clear 5 emails. Move $5 into savings and label it signal. Schedule your exposure rung on the calendar at a specific time. Finish the win and say, "Back on track," out loud. It sounds silly. It cements the state shift. Run it anytime you notice the slide. After a harsh comment, a craving spike, a tech meltdown, or that the day's ruined story. Don't wait for inspiration. Use the sequence as soon as you catch yourself spiraling. The order matters: breath, cold, win, because you move from body to jolt to agency. Common mistakes to avoid: overcomplicating the breath. You don't need perfect counts, just 2-stage inhale, longer exhale. Skipping the cold because it's inconvenient. Keep a small spray bottle or a chilled cloth nearby. Choosing a win that's too hard. If there's any friction, you'll bail. You're proving movement, not greatness. Stopping after the first win. The reset ends when you take the next scheduled action on your loop, even if it's 2 minutes. Make it automatic with a derailment kit. A sticky note on your desk that says size cold win. A spray bottle within reach, and a micro-win menu of 5 actions pre-decided for career, health, relationships, and money. If you're out, substitute a brisk 60-second walk while you plan the win on your phone. Use it twice a day max. More than that means your floors are too high. Adjust your stacks. You can reboot a day. Now let's put numbers on your growth. Measuring what matters, scorecards and signals. Data builds belief. Your brain trusts numbers more than narratives, so let's give it clean, simple evidence every week. We're not building a spreadsheet. I want a 1-page scorecard you can fill in under 10 minutes. It tracks 3 buckets: inputs, outputs, and signals. Inputs are reps you control. Outputs are responses you can't force, but can influence. Signals are trends and firsts, the early proof that the system is working. This mirrors what behavior change research shows. Consistent, countable reps can drive measurable adaptations in attention and cognitive control circuits over weeks. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Make your metrics binary or countable. Yes/no shift. Count to 5. Minutes, not moods. The simpler the tally, the easier it is to be honest. Start with inputs. The things you actually did. Exposures done. Number of rungs climbed this week. Stacks completed. How many starters you executed, fallbacks count. Anchors used. How many times you ran your 90-second state floor before hard tasks. Now outputs, the marketplace talking back. Replies, emails, DMs, comments that move a conversation forward. Meetings, calls booked, interviews scheduled, training sessions completed. Deliverables shipped. Posts published, drafts sent, artifacts delivered. Money proxies, proposals sent, pipeline value, pre-orders, deposits. Then signals, the quality of your loop. Trend lines. Did exposures increase week over week? Did time to start shrink? Ratios, sightings, actions, replies, outreach, meetings, posts, saves. Firsts, first cold reply. First, not yet but try in May. First, can you send pricing? Let me show you exactly how to set up the one-pager. Title at the top with your 2-week outcome and 1 primary metric. 3 boxes below, inputs, outputs, signals. Each box gets 5 lines max leave space for a 1-sentence learning and 1 test for next week. Example for a freelance push. Inputs, 5 exposures, 7 stacks, 9 anchors. Outputs, 3 replies, 1 meeting, 2 artifacts shipped, $3,000 proposal sent. Signals, queue, rolling out, spotted 6 times. Time to start down from 6 to 3 minutes. First, circle back next week. Learning, first lines that reference onboarding friction, got faster replies. Next test, lead with onboarding friction in every outreach for 7 days. Why this works? You're separating effort from effect without conflating them. Inputs tell you if you earned a result. Outputs tell you if the market noticed. Signals tell you where the slope is improving. That clarity keeps you from either quitting too soon or grinding blindly. Common mistakes and fixes. Vanity metrics. Likes without conversions. Followers without asks. Fix. Track only numbers that move your primary metric or teach you something actionable. Changing metrics midweek. You'll cherry-pick wins. Fix. Lock your 5-line Sunday. Change them only at the next review. Over-measuring. 20 metrics becomes avoidance. Fix. 5 lines per box, max hiding misses. Busy weeks with no shipping. Fix. Binary shipped lines. Yes/no. A no stings in the right way. Ignoring ratios. Raw counts hide efficiency. Fix. Log at least 1 flow ratio weekly. Sightings, actions, replies is a great start. Add 2 upgrades when you're ready. Rolling 4-week mini graph. Draw tiny bars for your primary metric each week. Seeing the line tick up, even slowly, cements identity. Lag/lead pairing. 1 lead input exposures, 1 lag output replies. If replies stall, tweak the lead, not the lag. Now, you might be thinking, what if the numbers don't move? Good. Now you've got a diagnostic, not a doom spell. Ask, volume. Were inputs high enough to expect a signal? Targeting. Do cues predict outcomes, or are they just noise? Offer. Are you asking for the right next step? Timing. Are you contacting within the window your cue spec defined? Use a micro post-mortem. What was I trying to do? What happened? What will I change next week? Keep it to 3 lines. Then lock 1 test for the next cycle and run it for 7 days. Quick win today. Draft your 1-page scorecard now. Write your outcome and primary metric at the top. Fill 3 input lines, 3 output lines, and 3 signal lines. Print it or keep it on your desk. At the end of the week, spend 10 minutes filling it in. 1 sentence learning, 1 test, then back to the loop. Data builds belief. Let it. Decision speed and anti-overthinking. ODA for builders. Slow decisions kill momentum because they load your prefrontal cortex with endless what-ifs instead of short feedback loops. You don't need more certainty, you need a cadence. We'll borrow the ODA loop. Observe, orient, decide, act, and hard cap it to 24 hours. You run 1 loop per blocker, get a data point, then loop again. Action becomes research. Observe means gather just enough real-world signal to define the problem. 2 or 3 data points, not 20. Examples. Skim 3 customer emails for recurring phrases. Review yesterday's watch time. Reread the last reply that stalled. You're not hunting for answers, you're hunting for constraints. Ask, what's undeniable here? Orient is context and options. Translate what you observed into a tight frame. They're confused at step 2. Replies arrive within 48 hours. Objections cluster around price. Now limit options to 3. The brain chooses faster from a short menu. If you have more than 3, merge or kill until you do. Use a one-line hypothesis for each. If I do X, I expect Y within Z time. Decide in under 5 minutes. Use the 80% rule. If one option feels 80% as good as the best, it's good enough. Set a 10-minute timer. If the bell rings, pick the simplest option that preserves learning. Usually the one you can ship today with the least coordination. Decision quality improves with reps, not rumination. Act within 24 hours. Ship the smallest version that still produces a signal. That could be a subject line test, a 2-sentence outreach variant, a 30-second clip edit, a price anchor added to your call script. Then calendar the checkback time. Review opens in 48 hours. Assess call notes Friday. Action isn't done until the review is scheduled. Here's a concrete template you can say out loud. Observe. 3 DMs asked about onboarding confusion in step 2. Orient. Problem likely at the first milestone. Options. A. Add a one-line explainer. B. Move the milestone up front. C. Send a pre-call PDF. Decide. Pick a today one line. Expect. Reply rate plus 10% in 72 hours. Act. Ship the line now. Set review for Thursday 10 a.m. Tools that. Make this frictionless. Pre-mortems. 1 minute to ask. If this flops, what likely caused it? Then add one safeguard. Example. If the new price scares people, I'll include an entry tier. If then scripts. If a prospect asks for ballpark, I'll say, most projects land between X and Y. Can I ask 2 scoping questions? The 80 to 20 ship rule. Ship when it's 80% right, and the last 20% is polish, not clarity. Perfection eats cycles, clarity buys data. Now here's where most people mess up. They spiral into research, 10 tabs, 3 frameworks, new tools. Research is useful until it delays the smallest test. If you catch yourself in tab 5, pause and ask, what's the smallest action that would reveal which option is better? Then do that in the next 24 hours. Another trap, waiting for certainty. Certainty is a lagging indicator. Run loops to earn it. Let me give you a micro-story. A founder agonized over a landing page rewrite for 2 weeks. We ran OODA, observed that most drop-offs happened above the fold, oriented to 3 options. Change headline, swap hero image, add social proof line. Decided in 5 minutes to test headline only. Acted by shipping 2 versions to 50/50 traffic and scheduled a review in 48 hours. Result, version B improved click-through by 12%. The decision took 20 minutes. The data decided the rest. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Speed with feedback beats precision without it. Cap options at 3, cap decision time at 10 minutes, and cap action delay at 24 hours. Quick win today. Pick one stuck decision. Write one observed sentence from real data. List 3 options max with one-line expectations. Set a 10-minute timer. Decide, ship a minimal test, and schedule the review. Do it once, then do it again tomorrow. Your overthinking shrinks as your evidence grows. Failure immunity, cognitive restructuring in the wild. Setbacks don't ruin progress. Your explanation of the setback does. When things go sideways, your brain launches a fast story to protect you. I'm not cut out for this. They hate my work. This proves I'm behind. If you buy the first story, you stop acting. Cognitive restructuring lets you catch that first story and write a better, testable one, then move. This approach is core to CBT, which has been shown to produce structural and functional brain changes over a few months of consistent practice. Why this matters? Behavior-first systems still collide with old beliefs. Without a way to dispute and replace those beliefs in the moment, you'll pause your loop for days. With a tight reframe, you keep acting while your brain updates. Think of this as a field repair kit for meaning-making. Here's the model I like because it's quick under pressure. ABCD, adversity, belief, consequence, dispute, energize. Adversity is the thing that happened. Keep it neutral. My post got 2 likes. They didn't reply. I missed my workout. No adjectives. No doom. Just the event. Belief is the instant interpretation, usually global, stable, and personal. No one cares about my work. I'm not credible. I'm lazy. This is the sentence that spikes your state. Consequence is what that belief makes you feel and do. Felt shame, closed the doc, scrolled. Avoided follow-ups. Ate junk and promised to start Monday. Dispute is where you get your brain back. Challenge the belief with evidence, alternatives, and usefulness. Evidence. What hard facts support this? What facts contradict it? Alternatives. What are 3 other explanations? Usefulness. Does believing this help me execute my next anchor? Energize is the new, testable belief, and the action you'll take now. It should predict something you can observe within 24 to 72 hours. Let me show you exactly how with 3 common hits. Rejection email, adversity. Prospect said no. Belief, my offer is bad. Consequence, I shelved outreach for a week. Dispute, evidence for? 1 no. Evidence against? 2 warm DMs last week. 1 circle back next month. Alternatives? Timing, budget freeze, wrong stakeholder. Usefulness? My offer is bad kills action. Energize. This was the wrong timing / stakeholder combo. If I reference their new feature in my first line and ask for a 10-minute fit check, I'll see 1 reply in 72 hours. Action. Send 2 revised first lines now. Log time to reply. Missed target, adversity. I aimed for 4 posts, shipped 2. Belief. I can't be consistent. Consequence. Abandon the schedule. Dispute. Evidence for? 1 off week. Against. Last 2 weeks hit 3 each. My state floor cut time to start. Alternatives? Overscoped topics. Posting window clashed with meetings. Usefulness? Can't be consistent erases gains. Energize. I can be consistent with smaller posts in a reliable window. If I cap posts at 120 words and schedule at 8:10 a.m., I'll hit 4 this week. Action. Draft 2 120-word outlines now. Calendar slots. Public mistake, adversity. Commenter called my advice basic. Belief. I'm not expert enough. Consequence. Deleted the post, avoided video. Dispute. Evidence for? 1 comment. Against. 14 saves, 3 thanks DMs, 1 consult inquiry. Alternatives? They wanted advanced nuance. Their tone reflected their day. Algorithm surface critics. Usefulness? Not expert kills practice. Energize. This piece serves beginners. I can add 1 advanced footnote next time. If I include a for advanced X line, I'll get at least 1 helpful comment. Action. Restore post, right next with footnote. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to paste fluffy affirmations over the belief. I'm amazing, with no behavioral test. Or they over-dispute for 30 minutes and burn the work block. Keep it brisk and end with a test you can run today. Use this field script in 90 seconds. Say the A, adversity, neutral event. Catch the B, belief, exact sentence. Name the C, consequence. Feeling, action. Dispute with 3 bullets. Evidence for / against. Alternatives, usefulness. Energize, new testable belief. If X, then Y within Z. Action now, small move. Pair this with your somatic anchor. Regulate first so your prefrontal cortex is online. Then run ABCD, then act. That sequence, state, story, step, makes the reframe stick. Microstory. A client posted a pricing page, got silence, spiraled to I'm overpriced. We ran ABCD. Evidence against. 2 prospects had previously said seems low for scope. Alternative? The page buried outcomes, no clear CTA. Energize. If I add a 1-sentence outcome at the top and a book a 10-minute fit check button, I'll see 1 click in 48 hours. They shipped it. 2 clicks, 1 call. The price stayed, the frame changed. Quick when you can run today. Take your latest sting, write the ABCD on 1 index card, craft a testable belief, and run a 2-minute action. Set a review timer. You're not convincing yourself with words. You're teaching with evidence. Your brain's learning. Now let's scale the environment around you. Environment design that forces follow through. Willpower is a bad project manager. Environments win because they act first. Your job is to make the next right behavior the path of least resistance, and the wrong behavior the path of minor pain. When the space is doing half the work, your loop survives busy days. Start with friction math. Reduce friction for good reps, add friction for bad ones. Take 5 minutes and audit your main work zone. Ask, what's 1 click, 1 reach, or 1 glance closer to the behavior you want? What's 1 click, 1 reach, or one glance farther from the behavior you don't. Lay out next actions, not intentions. Open dock is a behavior. Work on chapter is a wish. Put the first artifact front and center. Career. Pre-open the outreach dock with today's 3 names already pasted. Cursor at the first salutation. Creative. Timeline open to the next cut. Clip already selected. Play headset. Headphones plugged in. Health. Gym shoes by the door with socks in them. Water bottle filled. Timer preset to 10 minutes. Money. Bank app pinned. Savings transfer screen bookmarked to $5. Memo field set to signal. Lock screens and tame tabs. Use one-click blockers that mute social sites during your blocks. Better, log out. Add a 30-second password delay by using a manager you deliberately keep on another device. That tiny delay is enough to remind you chose the loop. Pre-commit public deadlines, but make them tiny. Publishing one 120-word note on Wednesday at 8:10 a.m. beats weekly newsletter. Announce to one peer or a small channel. External clocks beat internal speeches. Design tactile cues. Move your somatic anchor cue into the environment. A dot sticker on your laptop lid. A small token on your desk you touch before difficult tasks. A sticky note that literally says size cue hunt ship. Tactile beats mental. Create a first move tray. It's a literal tray or a folder labeled start that holds only the next 2 artifacts you'll touch today. A draft file and an outreach list. A script and a B-roll bin. A kettlebell and a timer. When the tray empties, you've won the day's floor. Add social scaffolding with tiny accountability. Peer check-ins, not performance theatre. 2 options. Co-work sprint. Send starting and shipped messages in a shared thread during a 25-minute block. 2-line daily. Time to start, 2:11. 1 win, 2 outreach sent. No therapy, no excuses, just signal. Increase friction for derailers. Phone on a distant shelf, upside down, in do not disturb with only favorites allowed. Put a charger there, so leaving it becomes easier than keeping it nearby. Snacks out of reach, water within reach. Entertainment apps in a folder named Later, 3rd screen away. Force 1 extra swipe. Build reset zones into your space. A standing spot near a window for your 90-second state floor. A hook for walking shoes by the door for a 1-minute circuit if you stall. A small spray bottle for the cold splash on your desk. The reset exists at arm's length. Common mistakes. Optimizing tools before routines. Don't redesign the system. Place the next artifact. Cluttered cues. Too many sticky notes become wallpaper. 1 cue per surface. Hidden friction. Cables not plugged in, batteries dead, files buried. Fix with a 5-minute pre-flight each evening. 1 quick setup today. Clear your desk to the first move tray. Place the sticky size ship. Pin your scorecard and move your phone to the shelf. Tomorrow morning, the space will nudge you before your brain does. Environments do what motivation can't. Make doing the right thing feel obvious. Real-world applications. Career, health, relationships, money. Let's plug the system into real life so it makes you money, strength, connection, and calm, without adding chaos. We'll run the same core, retrospection, somatic anchors, exposure ladders, stacks, and patterning inside a weekly loop. Career. Pick one outcome that ships proof and creates conversations. Retrospect it with receipts. By March 31st, I shipped a case study, sent 12 targeted outreaches, and booked 2 discovery calls. Anchor the first 2 minutes after coffee to write 1 outreach line. Exposure ladder for visibility. Rung 1, comment on 2 industry posts. Rung 3, publish a quiet time post. Rung 5, ask for feedback without defending. Patterning cues. Buy a phrase rolling out. Less than or equal to 7-day job posts, titles with budget. Run 15-minute hunts, 5 sightings, 1 action each. Stack your floor. After coffee, 2 sentences. Fallback, paste yesterday's template, save. Scorecard, inputs, outreaches, posts, outputs, replies, meetings, signals, cue to reply ratio. ODA decisions weekly. Test 1 subject line, 1 first line angle, 1 CTA. Health, outcome first. By April 30th, completed 12 workouts and hit 7K average daily steps. Retrospect with receipts. Workout log shows 12 dates, step tracker at 7,100. Somatic anchors are your warm-up. 90-second state floor before training to cut. Start friction. Stack. After putting on shoes, 10 squats plus 1 push-up. Fallback. 30-second wall sit. Exposure ladder for food or social triggers, not heroics. Rung 1. Sit with the trigger food in the room without eating for 2 minutes. Rung 3. Eat a measured serving mindfully. Rung 5. Eat at a restaurant and leave 2 bites. Patterning cues. Energy score above your weekly average. Calendar gaps of 20 minutes. Weather under 85 degrees Fahrenheit for outdoor walks. Run cue hunts at lunch. Spot a gap. Schedule a 10-minute circuit. Log yes/no. Scorecard inputs. Workouts, anchors, stacks. Outputs, sets completed, steps. Signals, time to start, shrink. Recovery feels steadier. ODA. If evenings fail, test a morning anchor for 1 week. Relationships. Outcome. For meaningful bids for connection this week and 1 honest conversation. Retrospect with receipts. Sent 3 appreciation texts. Scheduled 1 walk. Asked 1 hard question. Somatic flaw before talks. Calm intensity beats reactivity. Stack. After dinner, send 1 sincere 2-line message to a friend or partner. Fallback. Voice note saying 1 thing you value. Exposure ladder for honesty. Rung 1. Share 1 small preference. Rung 3. State 1 boundary with and instead of but. Rung 5. Give 1 clean, kind piece of feedback. Rung 7. Ask for feedback and only say thank you. Patterning cues. Bids for connection in the wild. Questions like, wanna see this? Look at this meme. How was your day? Plus tone shifts, micro withdrawals. Hunt 3 cues daily and respond with a micro action within 2 minutes. Scorecard. Inputs, text sent, dates scheduled, honesty reps. Outputs, replies, quality time. Signals, bid response rate, faster repair after tension. ODA. If a bid falls flat, test a different channel or time. If conflict loops, test state first, story second, in the next conversation. Money. Outcome. $1,000 in new revenue or clear pipeline by quarter end. Retrospect with receipts. Proposal IDs, deposits logged, pipeline value. Stack. Friday at noon, move $5 to savings. Tag 1 expense to cancel. Fallback. If funds are tight, categorize 1 transaction. Exposure ladder for asking. Rung 1. State price to a mirror. Rung 3. Say a 1-sentence price anchor on a call. Rung 5. Send a written price without apology. Rung 7. Handle 1 objection with a script. Patterning cues. Understaffed this quarter. Ballpark price. Pilot project. And timing windows after funding announcements. Hunt 5 cues. Take 1 action each. DM, email, price anchor script. Scorecard. Inputs, asks made, proposals sent. Outputs, replies, deposits. Signals, cue reply ratio, objection themes. ODA. If reply rates stall, ship a narrower offer to 1 niche for 7 days and review. Mini case stories. Career. A PM used stacks and patterning. 2 weeks of daily 2-sentence outreach led to 3 calls and a $3,000 project. The shift was boredom with the starter. Health. A parent moved workouts to a shoe-on stack. 10 squats became 15-minute circuits 3 times weekly. Energy cues guided timing. Relationships. 1 honest ask per week reduced simmering resentment and increased quick repairs. Bids stopped getting missed. Money. A freelancer hunted pilot cues, anchored prices out loud, and closed a $1,200 pilot after 2 objection reps. Before we wrap, hold the rule that makes all of this work. Behavior first, belief follows. Your environment is primed, your loop is light, and your numbers teach your brain who you're becoming. The 1 rule: behavior first, belief follows. Identity trails action. Your brain updates after reps, not before. That's why we keep floors low and loops tight. So evidence piles up until belief has no choice but to catch up. The thing most people miss is they try to feel like the kind of person who ships before shipping. Flip it. Ship a tiny thing, count it, repeat. Use numbers to teach your nervous system. Time to start shrank, cues appeared, replies increased. When the behavior survives bad days, the belief becomes stable instead of fragile. If you remember nothing else, act your way into believing. Keep floors low, ceilings high, reps daily. 7-day starter plan, action you can take today. Day 1. Write a 1-page retrospective letter with receipts. Pick 1 somatic anchor. Day 2. Run 1 exposure rung after a 90-second state flaw. Prep a 2-minute reset menu. Day 3. Install 1 stack. After anchor. 2-minute starter. Fallback equals X. Day 4. Write a 3-line cue spec. Do a 15-minute hunt. 5 sightings, 5 microactions. Day 5. Run the 15-minute daily floor as a loop dry run. Day 6. Fill a 1-page scorecard. Run 1 ODA decision and ship a minimal test. Day 7. ABCD1 setback. Tweak your environment. Calendar next week's anchors. Behavior teaches belief. Tiny, repeatable actions train attention, stabilize state, and convert effort into results. Start the 7-day plan today and tell me which habit hit hardest. Then watch my deep dive on exposure ladders. Next to scale courage with less pain. Subscribe for weekly Brain First systems. Sources for the curious. Wood J.V. et al., 2009. Positive self-statements. Power for some, peril for others. Psychological science. Research from Stanford and Peer Labs on rapid, experience-driven changes in prefrontal cognitive control with consistent practice, e.g., CBT and attention training studies over 8 to 12 weeks.